Yeah, I did actually want to check. All right, someone in chat mentioned it, so let's watch it.
Last night I went to bed really early. I was just all
Let's just
tuckered
listen.
out,
I
so
gotta go
I
pee.
said, "Goodbye, moon," and I snuggled on into bed to catch some Z's. Little did I know that while I
Blau
slumbered,
07.
we'd all been paid a visit by someone very special. And I'm not talking about Santa Claus, but I am talking about another man in a red shirt. Niccado Avocado. I woke up this morning in a different timeline. I think we shifted back to the Berenstain Bears universe and left the Berenstain Bears universe behind.
2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead. This has been the greatest social experiment for my entire life. So I am the villain because I've made myself one.
This moment right here.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, and Charlie will go into it more, but basically this guy did mukbang content for years. He's really big dude, kind of like ate a ton of food, really fucking unhealthy, kind of gross shit. Also would have these meltdowns and stuff, and was also just like a lightning rod of a ton of hate, like internet hate. And then he did something crazy where he apparently just recorded a ton of content, continuously posted it, but it actually wasn't him in live recording it or like recording it in recent time. He was spending all this time hitting the gym, hitting the Ozempic. Who knows what the fuck his routine was, but in 2 years lost 250 pounds and went through an entire transfer. What's the elephant in the room scenery? Is what, Ozempic's OP? I'm gonna be honest, it's crazy. He's a little cringe with his "I'm the villain now 2 steps." Like, it's a little cringe, right? Like, we can all agree, but it's awesome.
Here is this generation's "I Am Your Father." This is up there with the Darth Vader identity reveal. Perhaps one of the most unexpected things I've seen in quite some time. When I was watching this, I let out an audible whoa. Like, I couldn't help myself. My body responded without any other part of me having say-so over it. My body itself, my soul, was shocked when he took the mask off there. So he gives like a villain monologue that sounds like it's out of the Fallout universe, talking about how he's 2 steps ahead because he had played the villain for so long now.
Today I woke up from a very long dream. And I also woke up having lost 250 pounds off of my body. Yet just yesterday, people were calling me fat and sick and boring.
Losing 200.
Bro, he's like staring into my soul right there. Why is it wrong to say fat people are unhealthy and should lose weight? I think there's a difference between like attacking the person versus like being like, yeah, you should probably take care of yourself, right? But like, I'm not gonna say that to other people. But I'm like, I've already gotten in trouble on fucking Twitter for saying this before. But I'll tell you guys, like, when you're like, what's wrong with that? I'll tell you this: as someone who got by a genetic disease and then sees people develop something very similar to my genetic disease literally because of unhealthy habits, yeah, that fucking pisses me off, and I wish people would take better care of their bodies. There's any number of personal reasons for why someone might be unhealthy or overweight, stuff like that. So here's what I would say: you shouldn't bully people. Bullying them is not going to help them. Shaming people is not going to help them. But I will never defend things like healthy at every size or shit like that. No, like, you can be healthy and unhealthy, right? Or there, obviously there's a spectrum of health, but I'm not gonna come up with excuses for people for whether they're healthy or not. I'm not gonna attack them or bully them, but I'm very much on the yeah, exactly. Like Skeen's got, even when fat people make steps to become healthier, people still shame them, right? For instance, people are knocking on Ozempic. Dude, if Ozempic is available to you and you can use it and you can use it and your doctor thinks it's a good method for weight loss, then fucking do it. I'm not gonna shame you for using that. They're literally working on like dieting pills, literally like pills that will just kick your metabolism to just work in overtime. And like, they're working on solutions for people to lose weight and to be healthier. Why would I shame people for using those solutions? I would say, unless you are in perfect health and don't do anything unhealthy, then pointing out other people's unhealthiness is just hypocritical. I think that's fair, but I'm not gonna go and like defend people's. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference between me just like going and like ripping on people for being unhealthy. They're unhealthy for any number of reasons, right? Like, so I'm my opinion nowadays is I am never going to shame that. If anything, If I see someone who's fat in the gym and they're fucking working on their shit, I'm like, fuck yeah. Anyway, I could help you with that for sure. When I have friends, regardless if it's weight loss or whatever the fuck it is, when they want to try to live like a healthier life, I'm all about that. I love encouraging that. I think that's great. One thing I won't do is I'm not gonna go and like fucking defend and like promote people living an unhealthy lifestyle, you know? Yeah, or who am I to judge them? Stay in your lane, mind your business. That's another thing too, right? Like just mind your business. But like, yeah, no, working class view, that's a good point. I love how many skinny smokers will talk about and judge fat people. Exactly, right? Judge not lest ye be judged. So my take on it is this. I encourage people to be healthy. That's the way I view it. I encourage people to be healthy in any manner of ways. I'll never shame you for whatever the fuck's going on, right? Like in your own life.
Were calling me fat and sick and boring.
Losing 250 pounds is an unbelievable feat.
But like, you know, listen, I say this though because there is like an extreme movement of people where they're like, oh, like you shouldn't be like, you know, where it's like literally their own, or like, yo, don't like, why are you giving into societal standards and trying to lose weight, right? And it's like, well, because it's good for you, right? I don't like when people aren't transparent about how they lose weight or purposely mislead people into thinking they naturally lost weight. True, good point.
That's nothing shy of extraordinary. And he mentions how even yesterday, YouTubers and many other people were calling him sad, fat, depressing, sick, and all of that. And
Well, the issue is that American sees health as immoral. Living longer doesn't make you a better person. Yeah, but I also don't want, like, okay, sure. But just as I think it's fucked that the tobacco industry's lobbied about the unhealthy effects of cigarettes, so too do I think it's really fucked that food industries have lobbied about the unhealthy effects of their foods, and that, you know, we have changed our definition of like what is and isn't an okay weight to be at relative to your gender and age, right? Those are done for like literally for like corporate interests, right? When in reality, like, and that's harmful to people.
Still making videos about him, even while he secretly, over the course of 2 years, had been losing all of that weight. And all the videos that people were talking about were actually...
I'm not making health a moral issue. I'm talking about fat people means they're not good. No, yeah, I agree with this. It's not to say that they're lazy or anything like that. Sure, no, I agree with that. I think the thing is like, dude, like I always think of cereal, bro. Like cereal is the worst fucking thing you can eat, and it was just a staple in American society for so long. Right? Like I think a lot of people's health issues related to weight are oftentimes out of their control, that are literally they're a product of the environment they grew up in. They're a product of what they were fed as kids, right? Why is cereal bad for you? Chat, cereal is bad for you. Don't eat cereal. Cereal is terrible. Bro, the cereal epidemic in the US is fucking awful. But why? Extreme high amounts of sugar and carbohydrates that were basically just fucking given to kids and then got them addicted to high carb diets. Yeah, like even the healthy cereals are just bad fucking breakfasts, like Cheerios, like heart healthy, right? Like there's just a bunch of propaganda around this stuff. It's not individuals' faults.
Videos that Nicocado had filmed 2 years prior and kept drip feeding to the community to keep them either entertained or keep himself fanning the flames of drama for people to latch on to. It is actually very fascinating. Now, some of you might recall about 4 years ago, Niccado Avocado and myself had a tiny bit of beef. I'm talking like a Salisbury.
Whoa, someone said, don't you have the choice? Damn, dude, I didn't know I could choose what I ate when I was 5 years old. I should go back and tell 5-year-old me what was good. Thank you so much. I didn't know that my parents had perfect information about what was nutritious and what wasn't. Oh, wait, you're telling me that food industries had any number of lobbying and things to promote their own products and to promote what would make sense for them as opposed to what was healthy for the American population? Oh, shit.
Very steak level of beef between us, and we had a bit of a tinkle tussle back and forth pissing contest, and boo, fact check jump scare. I wanted to double check when all of that took place, so I looked at it. It turns out it was 2021 AD. It was late September, so it's coming up on 3 years, not 4. I was a little off on that. Time moves very weird now. I don't know what happened, but time is moving at a different speed than it used to. After all that drama, I had actually kept up with Niccado Avocado, occasionally just tuning in to check and see what's going on. I made a video like a year ago on a piece of content that Nick dropped where he actually did talk about a weight loss journey that he was going on, and I've kind of just been cheering him on from the sidelines ever since then, just hoping that he'd follow through on that and just to see where it all goes. So to see this come up was not only extremely surprising, just given how much weight he had lost in a relatively short period of time. I know to a lot of people 2 years, like on the internet terms, that's like ancient history. Things that happened 2 years ago, that might as well be the fucking void century that no one remembers. But like speaking realistically, 2 years to lose 250 pounds, that's a speed run. Those are gold splits.
I haven't made a video for like 2 years, and this is where I'm posting now on this channel, so I hope you consider subscribing if you want. I'm actually posting more next week, so yeah, that would mean a lot to me.
On his second channel, he mentions that it's been 2 years since he's made a video.
Bro, I need to get a new fucking YouTube recording setup. I need to get a fucking bird that I can like maniacally pet while I fucking stare deep into the camera.
So you can piece little breadcrumbs together in your head and follow this path here, connecting the dots. He has released videos on all of his channels over the course of 2 years. Quite a few of them. Not to the same frequency that he used to, but he still had a ton of videos that he's releasing over the last 2 years. Videos that were posted 2 weeks ago, or even as recent as 5 days ago, where he is that same weight, were all apparently recorded years ago. And it's not like it's CGI and it's not AI generated content. Nick actually just had a crazy backlog, like the Library of Alexandria for mukbangs, and he just kept going to the vault to upload some of that old pre-recorded content as if it was new, and people were none the wiser. I even went through these 2 videos here in particular just to see if I could find like a date somewhere on like his phone, or when he went to the Heart Attack Grill, like maybe like a calendar sticking on a wall, but I didn't see anything. Maybe I missed it. I did kind of go through it like 2x speed, so maybe it like flashed by really quick and I just didn't see it.
Boobly boo. Because I keep seeing you respond to the comments about food and information. I thought it was a law to put those information, or it's a recent thing. You realize that the kinds of information that is put on things, that's required to be put on things like calorie count or stuff like that, is like a lot of those things are recent, first of all. You also secondly realize that a lot of that stuff that the food, like for instance, you realize it's even a debate in the Food and Drug Administration that like there's a lot of shit that is allowed in the United States that is literally banned in other countries because their own independent scientists have determined that it's bad for people, but the American companies themselves are like, fuck it, we'll still run with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's still misinformation even today, even with the internet. There's no way you have any great grasp of nutritional information today, because, and by the way, it's not even just that America is corrupt. Other countries do this too. They just do it with guess what? Their Food and Drug Administrations lie about things when it's a major export from their country. Oh shit.
But I do believe him that these were recorded years ago, because that's the only logical explanation for how
Ariel,
he is
Nicole,
250 pounds down
Hi.
right now, yet 5 days ago he has a video at the Heart Attack Grill where he's still like 400 pounds or whatever it was. Dude was playing chess while the rest of us were playing checkers. He played us like a goddamn violin, and Nick loves the violin. Many of you might not remember this from the Nick Expanded Universe, the lore, but he was actually an incredible violin player. He was more decorated than like Captain America in terms of accolades when it came to this.
I didn't know he was a good violin player.
In his field of violin, he was a very...
The violin's a fucking hard instrument too.
Very well-regarded, talented player. And he came out here and just fucking Gangnam Styled on us. He really did play us like a sweet melody on that instrument.
It was a long 8 years, wasn't it? It was a long 8 years, and I didn't think that it would have gone this long, but it did. And it was like a bad dream that, yeah, it was like a really bad dream that we were waiting for it to be over. And it's over. It was just a dream.
Dude, you know what is crazy about like what he revealed, and what I actually appreciate about this reveal is like, holy shit. People on the internet just love to hate. I've talked to you guys about it too, right? Like chat, the things I've been talking to you about several times are 2 things. First of all, don't stand content creators. Like, if it comes out tomorrow that I've done some really heinous shit, you guys should not lose a fucking wink of sleep and should just move on and find another streamer to watch, whatever. If you think that there are any content creators that are so pure that you can stand them and that they're not susceptible to having done heinous shit, no. That's not fucking true. That's number one. Number two, don't be a fucking hater. Don't ever spend your energy hating on shit. Don't ever spend your energy hating on shit, right? That's why, like literally, like, I don't know, take up pottery, go to the fucking gym, message your mom, message your friend from middle school that you haven't talked to in a while, but like, whatever you do, don't go on YouTube or Reddit or Twitter or wherever the fucking type hate, bro. Like, life's too short to be a fucking hater, man. Like, my biggest gripe with like people hating on shit is I'm like, dude, like, how do you have time for that, man? Like, aren't you busy?
For a long time, Nick became synonymous with...
But I have to reiterate, don't hate, don't be a fucking hater, and don't be a fucking parasocial stan. I guarantee you, whoever you think is the perfect person that you're fucking standing, guarantee you they are capable of doing some heinous shit, or maybe they did some heinous shit. The two rules of the internet right now. Rule number one, don't be a fucking hater. Rule number two, don't be a stan. Basically, don't go on the internet with that much with like that much love for something or that much hate for something that you don't fucking know. Pretty much that.
Breakdowns on camera. Nick and Breakdown went together like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and that's something people talked about a lot, but then always talked about how it was always fake for views and drama and controversy. I have always somewhat believed that there was...
Do you stand Chapel Roan? Yes, I stand Chapel Roan, and if she was out in the streets, I would run her down and force her to take a picture with... Oh, fuck. I like her music, dude. Bro, I see people on Twitter who stan fucking content creators, and I'm like, and I'll like click on their profile and I'll see how much they fucking tweet about a content creator. I'm like, dude, like, yo, go watch their streams, maybe make some fun tweets, some fun edits about them here and there, but like, don't be that invested. Let me put it to you this way, chat. If it came out tomorrow that I, Blau, had done some fucking heinous shit, how much would you guys really care, right? You guys would be like, ah, fuck it. I'm gonna go watch Foolish. Fuck it, I'll go watch LM, right? Like, who cares, right? But there are people where, like, you know, Shawnee says I'd care. Okay, well, Shawnee, I also pay you, so just don't stand people, and then also just don't be a fucking hater. Don't be a hater. Just go and live your life, man. I was facetious too close to the sun, you know?
Always an element of truth to some of the things Nick was saying. I really do believe that Nick was miserable with what he was doing, but felt like he had to keep doing it because that was his source of income. That was his livelihood. And he was probably very afraid to just stop doing that, which is completely understandable because if people are subscribing to watch you eat yourself to death and you stop doing that, they might leave. And now you've got your ass in your asshole and no money being generated anymore because the audience left from you not doing the content they wanted you to be doing. And I really do feel like he felt like he was a prisoner to that for a while. I'm not trying to be an armchair psychologist here, it's just I've watched a lot of Nick's content and it really does feel like there is a lot of truth to some of the things he has said during these moments. And the way he talks about it here, calling it a bad dream, isn't exactly a glowing review of that time. You know, if someone said that to me...
Bro, that is crazy though, think about it. For years, literal years, there were people hating on this guy for something that wasn't even true. That's the craziest experiment to me. There are people like obsessed with hating on him, and he had already changed the reality of what they were hating on. That's crazy.
Me, like, hey, Charles, I know we spent 8 years together, but it's kind of just like a bad dream I'm done with. I wouldn't exactly be smiling from ear to ear about that. But now Nick has made some big changes, clearly, and his audience is extremely supportive. They are very receptive to this, cheering him on in a big way, pumping their fist and celebrating this. The video on his main channel about it is exploding. The video on his second channel is exploding. He's made 2 videos and both are popping the fuck off. His community is showing nothing but love and oodles of support for this. And it's what people have said for a long time, that if Nick actually did go through this weight loss journey, it'd probably be extremely good for him. Like, not only health-wise, but like in terms of his channels and like his community. It's inspirational. Like, people would love to see that. And
was he just AWOL in real life? How did no one know he wasn't losing weight? Like, I think he probably just kept a very private circle, and I think he was doing like some collaborations and some stuff, and probably had people just keep it fucking
I think
secret.
it's clearly showing here. And it's not like Nick has to stop doing mukbangs just because he loses a lot of weight. And it seems like he is going to continue to do mukbangs because he loves doing them.
We were all just dreaming.
I
Cheers.
don't like the ASMR.
And
like,
I love being a mukbanger. I love food. I like eating food, and I like being here. So
not my
let me
content,
know
you know.
what you think.
Just because he's lost 250 pounds doesn't mean that he's washed and you need to hang the jersey in the rafters and retire his jersey number. You know, like he can still keep doing mukbangs the same way he was before, but now in a healthier place. And
I wonder if he chronicled the weight loss over 2 years and has the content backlog to post. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would love to see how he did it.
like I said last time when
That
he
would be
had
cool
lost,
content.
I think it was like 89 pounds at the time.
I've been cataloging my own like workout journey, and I feel like I'll say this: one of the things I actually love that he did that I am really bad about doing is he just did it quietly. I tell you guys I'm doing shit, and sometimes by saying it, you're less likely to do it, right? But like, yeah, my whole thing is I'm just trying to get in fucking great shape, you know.
He seems happier. You know, like I'm not his therapist. I don't know Nick personally, but just from what comes across in the content, he seems happier at lower weights. Like in the content where he weighs less, he actually just seems like a happier person. At least that's the impression I get watching it. So it's really something to celebrate here with what Nick has been able to accomplish. And I really am happy to see that the reception to it has been overwhelmingly positive. It is incredible work. This is an effort that is extremely impressive. I'm also really curious and excited to see what Nick does going forward. If he's going to continue to do like exclusively mukbangs, or maybe he's going to talk about this weight loss journey that he
I would
secretly
love to
went
hear
on
him
for
talk
a
about
long
it.
period of time. I'd be really interested to see like what he did to lose all of that weight so quickly. I think that'd be really interesting content if he talked about it, or showcased maybe some of the things he was doing for cardio, or if he was doing weight training, what that looked like. I think that'd be really good bangers, like if he made content around that as well, while still of course having mukbang be the bread and butter. I think it'd be cool now if he would supplement it with things about this weight loss journey. The violin I think would be cool to bring back, because if you look at Nick's older videos, he really is like a fucking wizard with that instrument. I think there's a lot of potential and a lot of possibility with where Nick currently is, and it's nothing but positives here. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit, and yeah, that's it. See ya.
Thanks, Charlie.